welcoming you back to the desk of Caddicarus. Join us as we partake into a new installment of Current Quickies.
Hello my duckies, and this time we'll be having a look at Broforce on PS4. Bro, Q. This game is very good. I heard many good things about Broforce for the longest time, so when I saw it was coming out on PS4 and it was on PlayStation Plus for free, I couldn't resist it, I got it. And to be honest, I don't regret that at all. I had great fun with it. But what are the more specific things I have to say about the game? Well...
Oh man, this game is ridiculous and so much fun, but to be completely honest, it isn't that greatly optimized for PS4, leading me to say that I will be making negative connotations towards this particular port and praising the game in all the other areas as a general game. I'll also be spoiling the very ending portions of the game, so if you don't mind seeing them, well, that's just lovely. But aside from that, here is Broforce on PS4, let's go. Broforce from the outside sounds quite boring. It's yet another retro-inspired side-scrolling pixelated stage-by-stage shoot 'em up with running, jumping, climbing, a basic attack and a limited special attack. But boring is the complete opposite of what Broforce actually is, because it takes every stereotype of not only side-scrolling platforms, but even the 80s action movies that inspired most of them, and doesn't necessarily flip them on their heads, but instead absolutely revels in its stereotypes to such a degree where you can't help but laugh at the ridiculously over-manly sense of humor, utter piss-taking of politics in the mission briefings, and hegemonic monotone characters. The game is called Broforce, and it doesn't hold back with how self-aware and stupid the whole concept is and how awesome it is at the same time. Broforce involves you as a player running around huge areas from the left to the right in order to reach a tower and liberate an area by blowing the fuck out of it in a helicopter. All with a randomly selected bro at the start, all based off of people from famous action and sci-fi movies and TV shows, and all with their own special abilities. And the challenge isn't just about getting through the ridiculous stages without getting shot by enemies or exploded by mines once due to one-hit deaths, but you also have to work around the fact that every time you rescue a bro and get another life, or die at any point, your bro will change out for another bro, giving you a totally different moveset and special ability on the exact same button commands. It's an extremely simple and accessible premise, yet the game never holds your hand or fucks around with you. You need to be on your A game because of the one-hit deaths and destructible environments. Yes, pretty much everything you see as well as the enemies are able to be smashed to pieces. Not only extremely satisfying, but adds huge layers to the gameplay to make it deceptively simple. Every single stage can be tackled hundreds, and I mean hundreds of different ways, all depending on the bro you have with their weapons, depending on if digging through the stage and rising or descending from the top works out better for you, where ammo refills or other bros to rescue to get extra lives are. There are tactical as well as insanely gratifying approaches to blowing shit up and winning the game, and it provides unique attempts of the same levels on every game over or forced retry. Here's the catch though, you can never change your bro on the fly. You're given them at random and you have to work with whoever you have until you rescue someone else or die. Some would say that's restrictive and cheap, but I find it awesome, not just for the countless ways you can kill everything being changed up with every single replay to keep it feeling fresh, but with the way that you have to actually think sometimes about what you did wrong the last attempt, how you did it wrong, and then why you did it wrong with that particular weapon. The game tests you on your adaptability and gives you fresh challenges, character skins, and weapons with every major event in the game, and exploration is highly rewarded since after a certain number of total rescues you unlock a new bro, each being more ridiculous, recognizable, and unique as the last. Sure, I didn't like all of them. Cherry Brolin can fuck off, and Bronin the Brobarian I found utterly useless, but every other character had a use and uniqueness that I loved every single time I rolled around to them, and I loved being forced to work with what I had. It makes me feel better as a player, and makes me appreciate how the level design caters to any kind of playstyle. Bosses are also completely ridiculous and very fun, and unless you have an idea what goes on in the game beforehand, the entire story takes an unexpected shift from wiping out terrorists to saving the world from xenomorphs all the way to stopping the gates of hell-consuming America. Yes, they aren't original ideas, but in the context of the game, they were funny and a great little twist, especially with the fresh enemy behaviors and constantly changing tactics required from you as a player. The ending parts as well are absolutely insane. The hardest parts, but the best parts of the game for definite, with an ending boss with multiple forms that goes on and getting harder and bigger and badder every time you fight it before finally ending with a terrific bang. And despite the indie-styled retro approach to the ending itself with no real story arc satisfyingly concluded or anything, just the fact that the end of the game involves you needing to high-five the president, look at the trophies of enemies you killed on your walls, and then control a stream of piss saturating Satan's grave, I have to say this entire ending portion was worth the insane retro difficulty and wrapped up the sense of humor and ridiculousness so perfectly that I was laughing as well as satisfied that I did well. Nice job, devs. Could have just gone for a lazy 16-bit comic book wrap-up at the end, but I'm happy that this was worth it. But yes, like I said, unfortunately the PS4 version is not the best optimized. I had instances of characters getting stuck in blocks, and the final portions of the game slowed down to such a ridiculous degree that I was wondering if it was even intentional, because every so often it would run at 60 FPS again before chugging, so I was left frustrated and confused that a side-scrolling pixelated platformer wasn't running at 60 FPS constantly on a fucking PS4, or at least 16-bit starred anyway. This doesn't ruin the game at all, but it makes the ending stages wreck the flow, and if you die, the load times to come back in the end of the game are ridiculous. Bearing in mind you can die in one hit as well, most of the time you'll start, get killed, and then have to wait over 20 seconds to respawn every single time. But why is this only on the ending and not any other part of the game at all? I don't get it. But overall, it's a great game. I just wouldn't recommend it highly on PS4, maybe aside from the local multiplayer aspect, that's always a joy, but I'd say stick to the other versions on PC or something.
So I give this game on PS4 at least a 7 out of 10. Yes, I would definitely rate it higher if it ran a bit better. So basically, get this on PC because I'd rate it a lot better. But it's still amazing fun, and I still recommend it on either system. So go and have fun with it. Q.